Hello, hello, hello.
I'm waking up at the start of the end of the world, but it's feeling just like every other morning before. Now I wonder what my life is gonna mean if it's gone.
No, this is
The cars are moving like half a mile an hour. Started staring at the passengers.
What do you mean?
Can you tell me what was ever really special about me?
What are you, a squirrel whisperer?
But I believe the world is burning to the ground.
Wait, does it stop at one?
We're gonna find out. Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how
It's
far
live
we've
from
come.
Saturday Night
Believe
Live.
it's coming to an end. Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend. Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we've come. I think it turned 10 o'clock, but I don't really know. And I can't remember caring for an hour or so. Started crying and I couldn't stop myself. I started running, but there's nowhere to run to. I sat down on the street, took a look at myself. Said, where you going, man? You know the world is.
وصلى الله على خير خلق محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Allah says in the Quran, I'm sorry, wait, what? This isn't my qatra? Then what? Oh, this is the MSA video. Whoops. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Selma. I study public health at Berkeley, obviously, but definitely felt more like hell at sometimes.
My name is Amina and my major is philosophy.
My name is Hera Idris and I'm a fourth year studying bioengineering.
My name is Ismail and I'm a senior at UC Berkeley studying multidisciplinary studies with a focus on business and industrial engineering.
My name is Kareem Ahmed. I'm an EECS major. I'd say I'm your typical EECS major, but I'm interested in hardware, so I guess we all have our flaws.
My name is Mahmoud. I am a fourth year studying cognitive science. I'm also doing a minor in computer science.
My name is Mifra Hayat and I'm a graduating senior double majoring in molecular toxicology and bioethics.
My name is Musa Jalise. I am a data science and political science major.
I'm Nasser and I majored in bioengineering.
I am Ahmed and I majored in MCB Neuro.
My name is Nisma. I'm a business administration and molecular and cell bio double major.
My name is Rizal Zakaria and I'm a chemical engineering major.
My name is Sabu Musavian. I study cognitive science.
My name is Saniha. I am a media studies major and a proud transfer.
Okay, would I rather get caught with my foot in the sink making wudu or take another final fasting? Okay, definitely get caught with my foot in the sink making wudu.
I would say take a final while fasting.
I'd rather not take a final while fasting. It's just not good for my brain.
I will have to go with taking a final while fasting.
I would pick the final just to get it over with.
Take a final while fasting.
Take a final while fasting.
Probably be finals during fast.
I've experienced both. I would prefer fasting during a final anytime, straight up, just no contest.
So I'm always wearing socks, so I would never really get caught with my foot in the sink doing wudu. So I guess fasting during finals wins by default.
I mean, it's just like a momentary awkward feeling, right? Like, no one wants to suffer taking a final again while fasting, because I remember the last time I did that and it was brutal.
I'd rather be seen with my feet in the sink every time I make wuzu, because in the end of the day, it's probably going to be a learning process for the person observing me, I guess.
But I wouldn't really mind getting caught making wudu. I mean, so long as I'm not making a mess and no one's in the splash zone, I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about.
I've already taken a final fasting. It wasn't that bad. And I wipe over my socks anyway. So I would probably take a final while fasting.
Because last year's finals, we were fasting. This year's finals, we'll be fasting. And I don't want to get my foot cut in anything.
Ahmed, what would you do?
I'm taking finals while I'm fasting now. Like,
yeah, that's not bad.
Easy money. I can do this all year. Well, not all year, but like as long as I have to.
We've obviously had Ramadan during finals for the last couple years, and I have without fail fallen asleep every single time in the afternoon exams. It's just a thing and it's fine, so inshallah it keeps being fine.
Because it's really not that bad, especially with the Ramadan accommodations. Shout out to ASUC and all the students who advocate for that. And also, it's really not that bad as you think it is.
Because I've been caught with my foot in the sink a lot, and I'm just done with it, and I can handle finals while fasting. That's better.
Awkwardness when like a white person just walks in and sees you with your foot in the sink. Like, you just can't explain that, like, straight up.
Some advice to the underclassmen. Well, okay, first of all, congrats on getting to Cal. It's a huge accomplishment. I think my advice would be pretty simple. Something that I've been following for the past 2 years since I am a transfer student was to always say yes. Don't be afraid to walk into a room, to an event, info session, class, whatever it may be. And don't be afraid of the fact that you may not know anyone and that it's your first time, something that you've never experienced before, never tried. Just walk in, say yes, don't be afraid to say hi, and just embrace that. Some of the best memories that I'm looking back on right now in quarantine, and some of the best friends that I have today, are all from moments that I said yes to. You know, Cal is like an amazing place for opportunity, innovation, your academics, extracurriculars, everything is just so intense, but embrace it. Say yes to all of it. You're gonna meet a lot of people, you're gonna lose a lot of people, but it's all literally part of the journey, as cliche as that sounds.
Some advice I have for underclassmen, given that I've been here for the past 3 years, is to make their experience at Cal a holistic one. With that in mind, don't stress about your grades too much. Don't worry about your finals, your exams, your future. Inshallah, Allah has the best plan for you. So feel free to learn about yourself, learn about what drives you, your passions, learn about Islam, learn about what hobbies you have, make new friends along the way. Just make it a wholesome, holistic experience with balance in mind. Obviously, just don't party all day. Just keep everything in check and take some time to yourselves.
If I was to give my best piece of advice for underclassmen would predominantly be 2 specific things. The first piece of advice is time management. I think when we're talking about getting the most out of UC Berkeley, time management is really, really important. And so the way I've personally done this is created a Google Calendar, and I would basically fill in all the times in the day where I would be doing something, including eating, going to the gym, praying salah, going to class, hanging out with family, whatever it is. I'll put it on my Google Calendar, and what that will do is it'll allow me to see all the times in the day that I actually have that I can have extra time to do other stuff or fill in or take a break or whatever it might be. So that is my number 1 piece of advice is time management and creating a Google Calendar for your time management. And the second piece of advice I would give, and this is the most important piece of advice, is truly ignoring the noise. And what do I mean by this? I think that at UC Berkeley, we're often, could get caught up into looking at what other people are doing, and it's very easy for your friends or society or your parents to tell you to do something. And I know personally I got caught up into that. I came to Berkeley as a CS major when I transferred, and I kind of had 4 options in life, right? Like many of my friends, right? Doctor, engineer, lawyer, or failure. And I think that at the end of the day, you should really do what you truly love to do, and what really calls you, and what you're passionate about, and what type of impact you truly want to make in the world. And so how exactly have I been able to figure this out? And my piece of advice for you is to truly find what is known as your ikage. What is ikage? It's a very old Japanese term that is really, it basically means a reason to wake up in the morning. And the way you find your ikage is you answer 4 specific questions, which is what do you love? What are you good at? How do you make money from it? And what does the world need? If you can answer these 4 questions by the time you end UC Berkeley, or at least get a jump start on them, I guarantee you'll be much further in your career and you'll really enjoy your time at UC Berkeley. So those are my 2 biggest pieces of advice for underclassmen and incoming students.
So my advice to underclassmen would probably be two parts. So the first part is it's important to find a healthy work-life balance. You'll find this is especially difficult at first. Some people end up hanging too much with friends and learning kind of suffers. We're here to learn first and foremost. And some people end up just always in the books. They don't get out much, and after some time it starts to show. So it's important to find some healthy balance between the two. It's good to hang out with people now and then. Yeah, and that's easier said than done, of course, but it's important to keep in the back of your mind. And that kind of leads me into the second point, which is to come to the masjid as often as you can, right? Praying in the masjid is, one, a great source of community, and even more importantly, it helps us reconnect with why we're here, right? And what we're supposed to be doing. So definitely recommend that. It's a good thing to be doing, helps us reconnect, and great community.
And I guess my advice to underclassmen would be, number one, to get involved with the community as soon as you can. I think a lot of people kind of wait to see whether or not they should get involved with the Muslim community at UC Berkeley, and I think the sooner you get in, the better. It'll be for your years at Berkeley. And the second piece of advice I have is not to stress out. I think a lot of people like to make Berkeley out to be this terrible and really stressful place, but I think it's not that bad when you kind of take everything in stride and realize the things we worry about aren't that big of a deal.
So my advice would be to not be afraid of failure. I think Cal is one of those schools where it just feels like anything is possible. So whatever it may be, whether it's trying a class outside of your major, trying a different major entirely, starting a new club, joining a new club, meeting new people, just set your mind to it, say Bismillah, and go for it. Because I believe that some of the times of greatest growth for me and some of my greatest successes in these last 4 years have really come from quieting that voice that tells you, no, don't put yourself out there, don't try something new, and just going for it. And the consequences that can come from that are pretty small, maybe some time wasted or a little bit of embarrassment. But the rewards that can come from it are so big and so worth it. So don't be afraid to just go for whatever it is that you want and put it in God's hands. Inshallah, it will turn out great.
Nasser, go first.
I guess I would advise people to not worry so much about trying to check off all the requirements during their time at Berkeley, and instead just doing what they want to do and what they want to make of their education. I think people, a lot of the times, they think about, oh, I have to take this class and this class and this class just to fulfill those boxes. But really thinking about what you want to take home from it at the end of your 4 years is probably something that I would think about or advise the student to do every single year at Berkeley.
Along those lines, like same, especially with taking classes you don't necessarily need per se, requirements, but taking classes you're interested in, because when you look back after 4 years, you're not going to remember all the classes you had to take. You'll remember those few classes you took that were really fun or that had a very interesting professor. And likewise, if you're in a pre-health major where it doesn't really matter like what major you have for your grad school or whatever you're trying to apply to, pick a major that has classes that you're most interested in. Don't necessarily pick something based on how it sounds or whether other people are doing it or not. Requirements and classes are very flexible in Cal, so you can just carve your own path using the classes you like. You'd be surprised like how much leeway you have. So don't let other people make you take things you don't want to take.
Some advice I'd like to give to all of you is that whenever you feel any form of sadness, just remember what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran in chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 257. Allah is the ally of the believers. He brings them from the darkness to the light. As long as you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have everything you need.
There's a lot to do on campus, a lot to be involved with. I mean, of course, you have the MSA, you have your on-campus politics, your off-campus politics. You have different organizations to get involved with when it comes to your major, your career line. You have, a lot to do here. And, you want to make the most of your time at Berkeley. So the most important thing is your classes. You want to make sure you're getting good grades. You go attending lecture, doing all your homework assignments. That's number one. And the true number one is obviously we're here on earth being Muslim. So you got to focus on that first and foremost. And number two, you're a student, Muslim first, student second, association third. That's what we like to say around here.
Yes.
So, and beyond that, you want to get involved with as many things as possible. Meet as many people as you can, build your network, do as much as you can. In the short years you have here on Berkeley, short years you have here on Earth, you want to really make the most of it. So that's my advice to you.
My advice to all underclassmen is take advantage of all that Cal has to offer in terms of resources and any events that the MSA puts on, like any of the classes or talks or anything like that. Don't skip too much class. It'll come back to haunt you. Don't go to class when you're sick. Don't forget to eat. Wear sunscreen. If you're not a transfer, be nice to transfers. If you are a transfer, you got this. And you are just as good as anyone else on campus, maybe better, but don't let imposter syndrome get in the way of things.
The one biggest piece of advice I think I have for underclassmen is that while Berkeley is a pressure cooker and for sure everyone here is focused on academics, you should definitely take the time to actually enjoy life a little bit. And I know I was guilty of doing this. I think for the first 2 years I was here at Cal, I would spend upwards of 10 hours a day in either Moffitt or Kresge every day of the week, Monday through Sunday, and that's where you would find me just grinding and just working. And honestly, the time when I decided to actually take a step back from academics a little bit and focus a little bit more on me and like having fun and making those interpersonal connections was, I think, when I grew the most in college. And the past 2 years, my junior and senior year, when I was actually balancing out my academic life and my personal life and just trying to strive for that balance, I think were when I grew the most as a person and are probably the memories that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. So definitely, if you are finding yourself in Moffitt for more than 10 hours a day, just leave. Honestly, just have a little bit of fun, learn to live a little bit. That's like the biggest piece of advice I can give, because you do only get one shot at college, and you never know when something like coronavirus can like shorten your college experience. So don't leave it for like senior year, because that's when everyone expects it to be just live life every day to the fullest and have a little bit of fun.
My advice for underclassmen would be to just remember that nobody really knows what they're doing. Even the people who look like they have everything figured out and look like they're on top of the world are still just figuring everything out. We're all just college students.
My advice for the other people who still have time at Berkeley would be to just have fun, take it easy, and I think college is a really unique time where you can actually reclaim your faith and understand what relationship that you have with Islam on your own, without your siblings, without your parents. Try to really find a way to reclaim your faith, and that could be, spending time with people who inspire you, or listening to podcasts, or just trying to change your environment so that you can really learn more about your faith and get closer to Allah. Because definitely I would not have survived had I not believed in something greater and had I not believed that Allah had my back. And I would also advise to just be very wise with who you surround yourself with and the kind of company that you keep. We are very impressionable people, and the people who we keep around us can inspire us or they can bring us down. And it's going to be up to you to make that decision about who you're going to spend your time with.
My favorite MSA event would have to be the winter retreat from just before last winter break. We took some 8 or 9 cars down to Yosemite. And we had 2 cabins, one for the guys, one for the girls, and it was pretty fun. We just we hung out, board games. We went on a hike that kind of devolved into a free-for-all snowball fight, so that was pretty fun. And probably close second and third would have to be the broomball night and bowling. Bowling's always fun. But those are stories for another time.
I think by far the favorite MSA event I've been to was the winter retreat to Yosemite. That was an amazing amount of fun. So much bonding happened, and the friendly competition between the sisters and the brothers, where we had a little cook-off and the brothers won. That was really great.
For me is probably just being at the masjid during RR week and being really tired after studying all day and just trying to like catch watermelon gummies with a friend and failing and just like laughing hysterically.
My favorite event from the MSA, something recent actually, was the Super Bowl party. Not really much of a football person. I literally just went to watch a Shakira halftime show, but I met a lot of amazing girls, and it's such a shame because I wish I met them sooner, but it was a really fun time. Definitely gonna look back on that one.
Contrary to popular belief, not the times when I pied people. It would probably be when I was sisters director, but like specifically a specific instance would probably be the rainy day project downtown we had. It was like one of the only ones I've experienced, and I made a lot of new friends, and it was such a bonding experience, and all the friends I made were really precious to me right now. Oh, and another thing, was when a community member, Bill, reverted to Islam, and I was there to witness that, and during the table. That was really fun. So yeah, it wasn't a time when I pied Shami, Imran, Musa, Adil, got pied myself, or whoever else I pied. Yeah, it was all the nice wholesome memories, saying salams to everyone in Ash, in the meditation room.
There's a lot of, for my favorite memory, there's a lot of really great experiences I had at Berkeley, especially with MSA. I think one that always kind of was a big highlight was broom ball. We did it almost every year. This year I don't think we're going to be having a broom ball, but it's just a great time where we had a lot of brothers come together. We got to play together. It's like a great bonding activity. We'd go out to eat after. I think that's definitely one of the highlights.
My favorite memory of Berkeley MSA would have to be when we hiked up to the Big C, because that's the first time I felt like I had family away from home.
So we were driving from the Yosemite Winter Retreat, and it's been a long weekend, and we're in a caravan driving out of the event, and we've left Yosemite at this point. We have 10-car caravan, all these minivans. And we had gotten a little tired. We wanted to go home at this point, and so I turned to the back of my car and I said, you ready to break from this caravan? Just go home. And they said, let's do it. So I broke from the caravan. I gunned it in this Dodge Caravan. We overtook the whole thing. We caused a little rebellion. Other cars kind of came, joined us. The caravan was destroyed. We were having a great time. We were blasting our music full volume, gunning it home, full speed, as fast as this Dodge Caravan could go. So then another car that had joined, kind of broken ranks with us, I got a call from one of the members in there, a guy named, shout out Nabil, he's from South Africa, he called me, and he said, do you guys want to race? So I said, of course we want to race. And so the driver of their car was a guy named Hamad, good driver, so we decided to get on the highway and we're going to race. And there's a proper race too. We're both in these Dodge Caravans. We line up, we line up on the highway, and then we just gun it, drag race on the highway. And we're going as fast as these cars can go. So, these are not very fast cars. They were loaded up with luggage and people. I literally had my foot all the way down on the pedal. And it was top speed of this car, 100, 120 miles per hour, something like this. We had a good time. Everyone in my car having a good time. Everyone in their car having a good time. A few people, a little taken aback by the whole situation. But it was a really funny memory. A really kind of fun, end twist on the the road trip going home from Yosemite, and really that semester as well. It was a nice end of the semester.
I think my favorite event probably would be, so on our retreat, on our second night, Saturday night, all the guys, they kind of just sat together. This was 1 a.m. so everybody was half asleep, but somebody found hot chocolate, and then everybody started making hot chocolate, and we just all sat down and everybody started giving their stories. The cool thing about the retreat was that there were people there that we hadn't seen before, so we created a lot of new friendships, like our boy Nabil, an exchange student from South Africa. Nabil has my heart. He took it with him to South Africa. We met Bilal, who's like a freshman, Zane, who's just over from New York. So it was like a nice little collection of guys, and we all just kind of talked about stuff until like 4 a.m. That was fun. But it was terrible the next morning because nobody woke up on time.
I think my most favorite moment was during community service. We were doing Project Downtown, and we had met someone new like a new face in the community. We were talking to him, and mashallah, he continued to come after that. He actually was a senior graduating as well. And I think this is also like a good point for new students and for whoever's at Berkeley. It was his last semester, and he decided that he wanted to be more involved with the community. He was really involved with his academics, but he wanted to meet new people and connect with his community. And mashallah, he kept coming to the events, and he recognized how important of a resource it is to have people around you of the same belief and faith. And he enjoyed a lot, like helping out with the committee and any other events at MSA. And I remember one moment he told me, like before, like final last weeks before he moves, and finds and goes to his job, that he wanted to find specifically a place near a masjid or near a community because of this last semester that he had. That was a really nice experience to know that, like, even just one semester on your way out as a graduating senior, that sense of community was really important to him, and he started prioritizing that in his next chapter as well.
So my favorite MSA event, I don't know if everyone will remember this, but it was actually 3 years ago, so my sophomore year. I think one of the Welcome Week events was a scavenger hunt, and if you know me, you know that I think scavenger hunts are the epitome of a good time. So I loved that event. If you guys can bring it back next year, I might have to fly back in. It is just so much fun.
I would say the funnest MSA event that I had would be all of the MSA events that had Jakarta in them. Moment of silence for Jakarta. And also, well, honestly, any MSA event that had good food, I would say. Clearly, I'm fasting right now. And also, one event that was just really fun, really random, was the kayaking trip a couple years ago. And it was kind of annoying because I volunteered to be a driver. That wasn't the annoying part. The annoying part was that we kayaked, and then we were supposed to go somewhere else to have the bonfire and make s'mores and eat food. But then we just ended up coming back to the same beach that we had the kayaking for. So it was just a lot of looping around. Muslims, I guess, not that good with directions. But it was really, really fun. I met a lot of really cool people that I continue to be friends with since then, and I learned how to kayak, and my boat didn't fall over, which was actually the most surprising thing of this whole trip. I'm very proud of that, if you can't tell.
Would be, I really enjoyed the Berkeley Marina Social that we had last year. It was great because it was just pizza and the marina and lots of friends, and it was fun. There was a frisbee involved at some point. It was great. I saw a raccoon. Yeah, I miss it.
Congrats to the underclassmen. Embrace Cal. Say yes to everything. Don't be afraid. Just take on the full opportunity because it's really a big blessing and it's going to be a good time.
So I'm excited to be graduating, but thank you, MSA, for a wonderful, wonderful 4 years. I can honestly say that you have all been some of the most amazing people that I have met at Cal, and my time at Cal would not have been the same without you all. So thank you.
I wish you all the best of luck, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Graduating class of 2020 at UC Berkeley. It has been my honor, privilege, and blessing to have been able to spend with you all the past few years, my time learning from one and all, sharing in your happinesses, being there during your sorrows, and overall growing together as a community should. I have seen many of you progress from just starting at university to graduating, from transfers to visiting before finally making your decisions. And ultimately, we've established a great long-term relationship. And it's been an honor for me to have seen your progress, your progression, your growth for many of you during these few years that I've had the blessing and privilege to spend with you all. The past few years have not been easy. Many of you have gone through a ton of difficulties, just unimaginable amount of hardship, challenges in the face of family and friends and roommates and your own spiritual journeys and finding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while being at university. Many of you have found new relationships. Many of you are seeking new relationships. And I pray that inshallah you be blessed in all your journeys. If anyone took any benefit from any of the classes or Jummah khutbahs that I had done at Cal, then I pray that it was of benefit. I ask you all for your forgiveness if I have done or said anything to displease you or harm you. But I do pray and wish for your well-being as you begin the next journey in your professional careers. Inshallah, I pray from the bottom of my heart that all of you find the success, happiness, and direction in life that you sought while in university, now that you'll be graduating, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. As for those who strive in my path, we will most definitely guide them to us. And I pray for all of you that on this next leg of your journey, upon completion and graduation, that you redirect your lives and focus your lives on growth, development, and a spiritual connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in whatever endeavor you take upon yourself. That being said, I hope that and I pray that everyone overcomes, inshallah, the worldwide pandemic that we're all struggling with. In the short few years of your lives, you have seen more and experienced more than many generations have seen and experienced in the entirety of their lives. So again, may Allah bless you for your sacrifices, the hardships, and may you see the sun rise again on a more happy, joyful, blessed day. May you all succeed, grow, and develop in all of your journeys after you graduate, inshallah. I pray for your success, happiness, and your overall well-being. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. I just have a couple quick announcements. First being Project Downtown. I'm just kidding. I wanted to give a huge shout out to the class of 2020. This is a big achievement, and I'm sure you guys are all excited. I'm excited for you guys too, so make sure you guys celebrate this really well. I wanted to also give you guys a couple of quick tips about the next chapter in your guys' lives, wherever that may be. You may be starting a new job or starting grad school, taking a year off to figure out what you want to do, or whatever the case may be. You might be moving back home, and that means that you have to readjust to living with your parents. So first up, always be nice to your parents, respect them. Remember that they made just as much and a lot more sacrifices than you did to get you to where you are today, where you are receiving these degrees. So remember that, and I'm sure you guys already do this, but yeah, just be nice with your parents. Second of all, with these degrees that you are receiving, inshallah, make sure that you're doing something for the sake of Allah with these. Make sure you aren't selfish with these degrees and that you're giving back to the community. And then third of all, I know the future it might look bleak with this whole coronavirus and this pandemic striking us at this time, but who better to tackle this pandemic and to find success in it than us? I mean, come on, you wouldn't be a proper Cal graduate without having faced some adversity in your Cal career. And I know this class of 2020, you've had a lot of things happen in your past 4 years or 2 years, however long you were here. Let's talk about the PG&E outages. Let's talk about the Milo stuff that was happening earlier. So just remember that always have faith in your abilities, and you guys are probably best suited to tackle this. So inshallah, you have my du'as. Make du'a for yourself as well and for others. And best of luck. Congratulations again, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Fatima and I graduated in 2018. I wanted to wish all of these seniors a huge congratulations on graduating. This is a huge milestone. I know that times are a bit uncertain right now and it might seem like it's difficult to graduate and go into the world when things are up in flames, but I think you all, inshallah, have been equipped with the right tools and the right mindset, and with that you'll be able to succeed no matter what the economic situation looks like. Just have to work on Allah and do your best, and inshallah everything will fall into place. With that, I wanted to wish you a huge congratulations, and I'm looking forward to the amazing things that you do. Sams!
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Khwaja Ahmed and I am an alum from 2016. And I was asked to give a reminder to the graduating class of seniors, and I know it's a tough time given everything that's going on and the trials that you're facing for sure are real. And these are not easy times for anyone, but I wanted to just give a quick reminder that we come from the tradition of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the tradition and that he has of Islam is one that overcomes obstacles, and it is one that Allah reminds us over and over, where He has placed in front of obstacles that we will overcome. And then none of these obstacles are too much for us to bear, and they're not too much that they will overcome us. And yes, there are times you will feel the anxieties and the pains and so many things going along with it, and that is natural, and that is part of that process. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also went through these difficulties, and he also had times where he felt anxious and he felt despair and forgotten. But it's a reminder that Allah, even with Ta'if, did not forsake our Prophet. And it is a reminder that in Surah Duha and Surah Ishraq that Allah gives us ease, and Allah has for us a bigger plan than our current hardship. So don't forget that for every hardship, Allah gives you two eases. And Allah will never forsake us, because He didn't forsake Muhammad ﷺ when he was an orphan. He has not forgotten you. Whatever it is, you will overcome this, and you're going to come out stronger. Because you're a Muslim, and because you are from UC Berkeley, you've already overcome 4 or 2 years or how many years of going to school, one of the most competitive colleges in America, and you've overcome the numerous trials and difficulties. So whatever is in front of you, yes, it is challenging, but don't forget Allah is in your corner, and Allah will help you overcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Congratulations to the class of 2020. You guys made it, mashallah, after everything you guys have gone through. It's very well deserved. I know that this is a somewhat of an unusual graduation, but don't let that take away anything from what you guys have accomplished. You know, mashallah, you guys have put in so much work over the years to reach where you are. A lot of people have sacrificed to help you become who you're becoming. You know, and never forget to be grateful to Allah for what He's provided for you and the opportunities He's given you. I think it's really important to keep in mind that education does not end. It might sound cliche, but education does not end here with a degree. Just because you're graduating doesn't mean that you should stop learning. It's something that, especially as Muslims, that we should strive to continue doing for the rest of our lives. Always learning, you know, learning something beneficial, something that we can use to help others, to grow our knowledge of the world, the universe, Allah's creation, and about Allah Himself. So, you know, obviously learning about our respective fields, becoming more specialized in them, but then also learning more about our religion, if that's within our capacity. So I definitely, just a shameless plug, you know, there's a lot of things that are available now that weren't available even just a few years ago. Things are much more accessible, things are moving online. So just take advantage of that. I mean, you know, this is such a unique time. There are things that we have available at our disposal that nobody's had in all of human history. And you guys are sitting here just ripe, ready to take advantage of all of that. So don't let this opportunity slip by. Learn what you can, continue growing. And, you know, just congratulations, seriously. Very proud of all of you guys. And I think that's all I got. This is like take 30 for me, so just gonna peace out.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Hatem Bazian. Many of you took my classes, have seen me in so many different events for the MSA and other activities on campus. But this is a unique circumstance that we can celebrate your accomplishments, your graduations, and your finishing a UC Berkeley degree. I wanted to take this few minutes to congratulate you, to offer you a mabruk in Arabic, a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have been able to finish a degree at UC Berkeley. It would have been normal for us to be gathered and to celebrate with you and your family, to see your parents, to take pictures, and to possibly enjoy some halal food, but hopefully during iftar time. This is a journey that you have come to this university. You took the classes. Many of you were in the science and engineering or going to your path in medicine. But inshallah, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it, to open a path for you, to continuously give you the success that you have. It is important in these difficult times of COVID-19 to remember that even in the most difficult times that we have the blessings. First and foremost, you have the blessings of your parents and your family that made it possible for you to arrive and to finish a milestone in your path and in your life. But also that you have a blessing that you had a supportive community here at Berkeley. The MSA was your family, away from family. The different times that you have spent in the libraries, studying together, eating together, and hopefully organizing many of the activities that you have. I bet that you have, when you came to the campus as a freshman or as a transfer, your sense of belonging, your sense of Islamic identity and who you are was not as the way that you leave or you finished your degree in this time. And if anything, this is a testament to the student community in here at UC Berkeley, which has been in existence. At least we have trace of Muslim students coming to UC Berkeley since the 1930s. So in this sense, you partake in a tradition of seeking higher education and developing a community at the same time. My advice to you is to go out to the world and to be individuals that reach for the stars, to make a difference, both for your own family, your own community, but for the broader world. I always say that the change that you are seeking and the hero that you are seeking, it's here, it's you. So it might as well get up and begin to do the work that needs to be done and to really cure the world of the many illnesses and the challenges, both physical, spiritual, as well as mental. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to bless you, to give you the guidance, to give you good health at this time and your family, and to open paths for you, both those that you see and those that are away from your immediate comprehension and understanding. So mabruk, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, and inshallah we could see you at one point in one way or the other as life moves forward. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.